My name is Hisham Elsayed, Senior Technical Consultant. I have around maybe 15 years of experience. I started as technical consultant, then functional consultant, and currently I'm in between work with application managed service team. So before we start, there are three key pillars for any financial system. Start with planning, recording, and then reporting. So reporting is very important stage, while it's very important to take a driven decision, and we should to consider about the data and analytic until reporting. So let's explore together what is for today. We'll take an overview about business performance analytics, process architecture, data architecture, and difference between business performance analytics and business performance planning, demo and question. Okay, before we start, there is some challenges and feedback comes up from the customers. They need something to cover all their needs about the reporting because their data is spread between different applications. These applications might be legacy applications or third party or ISV, whatever. And also they need to get this all data correlated to create one report, which is another challenge. And to analytics and reporting requires some development effort and cost time. So at the end, if we finding insight in the data, is also consumed sometimes. So we come to the vision of turning data into action to improve business performance, one extensible solution for reporting, analytics, and insights as well. We need something to give us a holistic view while we can make some slice and dice and go deeply with data through drill to find the specific information with huge number of transactions. So here at Business Performance Analytics, start in the beginning, as we mentioned, with Dynamics 365 Finance, Supply Chain, and so on. And in the right-hand side, we can find different type of application. It might be ISV, legacy, or whatever. So all together, correlated through data models. This data model content on different business process, like record to report, procure to pay, order to cash, and so on, which is working together to expose the data in different channels like Excel, Power BI, or even through extensible like Microsoft Fabric. So here's some thing very important to know. We need the people to be delightful through use the tool or doing their daily work. So we need to prioritize the experience for the user. We need to make the development more easier for the reporting, and also it can be easy for use through Excel or even through Power BI, and also to be easy for collaborate with other stakeholders. Meanwhile, we need to consider with data and data security through rules and security for these reports. So we have ability to add user or even use the standard rules or custom rules that will give us a permission to access a specific dimension, legal entity, or combine together with legal entity and dimension with the ability to make extensible, which is mean for data model, we can add or customize or edit the current data model, and we can enable integration with ISV and other third-party apps to work as a correlated application for reporting and easy for upgrade. So here's the process. As we mentioned, there is data model. Every data model from this content on different business process. For example, we have record to report, start with budget and so on, book to pay, order to cash, acquire to retire, something like that. So some data model, it content at the end to give us data value chain. This data value chain concept, it can work horizontal or vertical to get a specific information. For example, I can get information from invoice to be reflected to GL. So how PBA work? PBA work to get the data from finance and operation to be loaded to Lake which is work to give us semantic or data set to Power BI, while can Power BI expose this data to Power BI or even through Excel, or it might be through Microsoft Power Platform driven application. Here's a roadmap. Okay, it will be general availability in next month, October, and of course there is some extent for the current data model to cover different business process. We'll come to the demo after these next slides for data architecture. This is very important concept we need to discuss. Okay, 1 second. Okay, here we go. We have key components for data model. We have fact table and dimension table. What's fact table? Fact table is mainly considered with quantitative and transaction like amount, quantity, and so on, and is a central table for dimensional model. What's dimensional model? Is a concept from Microsoft to provide us ability to customize very complex query with the best performance. So dimension table is something to store descriptive for the fact table. If you remember the relational table before between primary and foreign key, we have example here for sales amount, quantities, quantity sold, data key, product key, and the right-hand side we can find product key, product name, and so on. This two table has a relation through product key. Let us go for a demo. If I would like to browse to business performance analytics, here
if you can duplicate the screen,
okay,
then we'll see over there.
1 second. Wait. So everybody see the system? Okay. We have Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance, and we have these workspaces, and here we can find something new apps, which contain on different stylish icon for business performance analytics, invoice capture, and business performance planning. We will start with business performance analytics. If you click here without complete setup and configuration, you might be receive an error. While we complete it, it will take us to another 365 app. We have two main components here. First one is administration and reports. Administration contains on user rules. Of course, the user to give access, and the rules to give specific rules for specific users, or to customize the rule. As we mentioned, the rule it might be contained on access to specific dimension or specific data, specific legal entity, or combined together. And we have dimension. Business performance analytics give us ability to use up to 5 financial dimension, and we can make different dimension group or combine different financial dimension together for one group. So if I would like to browse the reports, for example, we have filter here. We can find by Microsoft to see the standard reports. When I click here, we can find list of standard reports that cover different business process for supply chain, for finance, and so on. For example, I will come to trial balance. I need to browse. I will click here. I find a list of filter, which is make trial balance more dynamic and powerful rather than for using from D365 Finance. In the beginning, we have the first filter to make it transaction, for example, and here's list of legal entity. I will use USF as a standard one, and I will select the date for the current year. Sorry to talk very fast, but I have a limit time, and I need to show the demo. So,
you guys arriving at 7:40.
Okay, and here I can make drill. So the layout, it will be changed as per I make drill and drill. So it come more detailed here for for trial balance. For example, I would like to get some details about account payable for domestic account. So I come here and I see that there is some high amount here. I need to have more information about this. So I make right click, drill through and transaction. It takes me to more detail about this. If I make the similar way for drill, I can see all transaction under this account for different dates, for different journals. Okay, this is for standard reports. We come again here, we can find some other reports with different name, which is mean we can do some duplication from the standard one or even create some report from scratch. So for this reason, we have another layout from trial balance. I will make search for about it. This duplicated from the standard one. I should select contain instead of equal. Similar, same way for filter in D365 Finance. Here we go. We can find trial balance for a demo. If you can see here, once it open, it gives me the same style I did for the previous steps exactly, because I make it and save it here. So and also make some changes to give us information about quarter. So it's trial balance for different quarters. Similar, if I come to the same account for account payable under domestic, I can find there is some huge expense in third quarter. I need to get more information about this, so I will make drill through transaction details. It take me for more detailed report for list of transaction, contents on date and journal number. If I select any of this journal, I can see that it changes and give me all the information about this journal. Similarly, use original document in D365 Finance. Okay, this is not everything that we can also make some customize, as we mentioned. We can do some duplication from the original report. For example, we have this standard one for general ledger transaction details, and I need to add financial dimension to be as a filter. When I change the financial dimension, it can display different data. Here I can find all the information for all the legal entity. Okay, so let me go for edit.
This is very powerful feature. We can't do this in management report.
Yes. Once I make the application, it will take me for a copy from the standard one. I will show in just a few seconds. I can make a complex customization for this report. It might be take weeks if I will make it from scratch in D365. All right, so we come here. I press edit. It gives me for another interface for Power BI. I would like to, as we mentioned, to use financial dimension. So I will take the financial dimension name, and you can imagine this is a list of all financial dimension we have. Okay, I will make it a little bit small while I can add another control. Okay, and this I will change it to the layout to be table. Okay, and this one will be slicer. Okay, so you can find the list of financial dimension like agreement, business unit, and so on. And I will take another one to give me the value of this financial dimension, which is mean that when I select one of the financial dimension, it gives me all the data value for this financial dimension. Okay, let's start by select business unit. So if I select a business, let me change this first to slicer as well. So if I select business unit, you can find the list of business unit here. if I select one, you can see the data, it will be changed. Okay? So this is not enough for me. I need to add also the financial dimension here. So I will drag this to be added here. So when I change the data again, I can see the data is changed and the dimension to be included in the report. Okay? So let us come to the last demo with us today. So I need to do some report using Excel add-on, and this report should be from scratch to give me all the information about general ledger transaction, for example. So I will create new report. I will give it a name, for example, 01 GL, and then I should to select Excel and then create. So it asked me to install add-on for Excel to make a connection between Excel and business performance analytic. So I find this the first one. When I click, as I mentioned, ask me to download and install this add-on. I already compiled this configuration, so no need for do that again. I will open the file, the Excel file from here, and it gives me a pivot table that I can make a very dynamic report in just a few seconds. First of all, I need to make this enable. Here is a pivot table. It might be asking me for 1 second. Yeah, to access again, I should use the same account I access D365 Finance. All right, successfully. Okay. I will click the pivot. It gives me the fact and dimension list of tables that I will use it with my report. First of all, I like to get the amount. Amount should be under matrix, and I will get this amount here, and then I will drop this amount here. Okay. Then I would like to add list of ledger accounts. It should be under dimension as a descriptive for the fact table. So if I write them here, we can find the general.
High resolution screens to work on that.
It should be a count.
Yep, I found it. I put it here. So you can find list of general ledger. Okay. Then I will add some facts about this ledger. Yep, like I need to add currency, so it's easy. for me, and period type, posted by, and posting number, and time as well. Okay, so let me change the layout for this pivot table to make it classic while I can see of everything clear. So I come here, right click, come to the pivot, and then come to display, and then make it classic. So press OK. See, every account with all the details. Okay. Okay, this is not also enough for me. I need to add some parameters. So I will add the legal entity as a parameter. It's easy for me. And then the year. So I can select one legal entity for a specific year. So when I change, I can select all to select all the transaction on all the years, or I can select a specific legal entity. So let me check one of the legal entity, USMF, for example. And data should be changed. So I can save this file for me as I make a very complex report using business performance analytics. Okay, this is the last demo with us, just a couple of minutes, and then welcome with your question. Here is the cost of BBA. There is no extra cost when using a standard Dynamics 365 Finance. Only the cost if you will make some extensible using Microsoft Fabric, and the data it should be used for 3 years historical data, in addition for the current year. So installing is very straightforward. There is some step here, and you will receive a link from Microsoft to access the App Store to install Business Performance Analytics. And for the last point with us now, what is Business Performance Planning? What's the difference? Business Performance Planning, especially for forecasting, and with an option that I can manipulate the data or make some insertion for the data rather than it for business performance analytics to expose the data only. So here's the demo, here's the reference, and any question? I think very, very fast. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please.
Let's start one by one.
What? Okay.
Yeah, so I have a question regarding like how can we implement the security within the report? So so one is like the security in terms of accessing that CRM instance that is hosting the BPA. But let's say, for example, if we have the user has access to a certain report in BPA, but we don't want the user to see the transactions for a given cost center or for a given legal entity.
Yes, we have this ability to make a custom rule to give the to make the user access specific dimension for a specific legal entity or combined together. You can make the we can make the user see only, for example, cost center for a specific legal entity, or even cost center and departments, whatever, or make it mix it together for one legal entity or other, and then you can assign to the user.
Okay, and the next question is that is there a limit? I remember that you mentioned that there is a limitation of financial dimensions, that there is a maximum 5.
Yes,
financial dimensions.
currently until 5. Yeah, if you have more in D365 Finance, we can use until now. Yeah, there's a question. Yes, please.
Does it extend to sales performance analysis and custom item statistics?
Say again, please.
Does this BPA extend to sales performance analysis and custom item statistics?
There is some other business process coming, so it might be available, or you can make extend for Microsoft Fabric, or even through Microsoft Power Platform driven app.
Basic sales data should be in order to cash value.
Yeah. Okay. So, any other question?
You mentioned that there were 2 refreshes a day.
Yes,
How
exactly.
quick is the,
Before it was 1 and currently become 2. In the future, it might be more. It might be up to 4. It might be.
So we don't have control over it, like it's every 15 minutes? Or
No,
anything
it's
like
from Microsoft, managed by Microsoft, not from the businesses. Yeah.
Hopefully, once it becomes GA, it might improve.
Yeah.
It's still in preview.
But then you have financial reporter.
All right. Thank you for your time and for joining. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.